I was riding from Martin Luther King and Malcolm X Boulevard the other day. I had done something that my wife tells me that I do too often, and I had gone to eating at Players.
Yes, sir.
And this time she was with me. Well, instead of going Martin Luther King and coming down and going out 295 to come out to where we live in the Southern Maryland, I drove down South Capitol Street. And when we got somewhere down South Capitol Street, one of the cross streets, my wife had just recently read about murders that had taken place there. And she was like, why did you come this way? Isn't that where I just read? And I've looked from time to time at your Facebook posts where once again you're burying a young black man, someone caught in the crossfire. You live, someone made a joke the other day that wasn't funny and said that the area you represent is Gunsmoke City. It's dangerous over there. Talk to us about some of the challenges that you face, and at some point we'd like to talk about what some of the solutions might be.
So I grew up in this community, so I'm very familiar with the environment. And in fact, being 32 years old, my generation and younger is involved in a lot of it on the perpetrator and victim side, and so I'm connected a lot of times with the families. And so a lot of people contacted me over the years. I think I've done at least 87 funerals. And it hurts my heart. In fact, I started this work because I started coaching Little League football.
32 years old, and you've participated.
I have 3 more to do coming up.
Oh my God.
Yeah, 2 victims of a car accident, 1 a victim of a homicide just a couple of days ago on 6th Street.
Yeah.
A guy who I knew as well.
Yeah.
And I say that because I think it's at a time we need to redirect resources to creating solutions. We have had over 6 recreation centers, even number 11 Boys and Girls Club closed in our community. We've closed over 40+ schools in our community. We've never fully recovered from the 80s epidemic of the crack cocaine era that swept through our community, and so we are receiving the brunt of that. And so it's imperative for me as a leader with the $13+ billion downtown that we redirect it to creating equity on the east of the river. And so I ran for office with those ambitions because I know it takes innovative solutions. So we started doing mentoring in Johnson Middle School. We're going to move to Hart Middle School, Kramer Middle School as well. We want to open up new recreation centers in our community. We want to ensure that we provide productive things for our young people to do and put positive role models in their faces. And we want to launch our Red Ribbon Safe Communities initiative to put red ribbons on people's doors and cars, so we can talk about solidarity in our community to ensure everybody is saying we want safe communities. Because it's a small few. And Dr. King said bad things happen when good people do nothing. So we're trying to inspire a new generation of good people to start being active in their community. Because back in the day, my grandma was a part of the Orange Hats. They used to walk the community, pass out flyers, the whole 9. And so we put a lot of responsibility on the police department, which we should, but the community must take a stance as well. And so with my bold leadership and those who rallied behind me, we're going to do just that.
Do you feel Ward 8 is in crisis?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we're in crisis mode, from housing to homelessness to crime to the health disparities. We have 1 grocery store serving 78,000 residents, and so we are definitely in crisis.
And I'm sure Muriel Bowser watches this show all the time.
Okay.
What do you say to her? We're in crisis, therefore we need you and your administration to do what?
So we've listed a list of priorities and put budget items to those priorities to ensure that we've been a loud voice. And one of the things in my leadership, we want to get more residents from Ward 8 down to the city council to testify about what we need in the ward. Because a long time we depended on Marion Barry, who was a giant for the people to do it. But this is a new day and a new age where the city has changed. And so I have 7 working committees, which comprise of 133 people. And we're trying to expand that. We can talk about education, the health disparities, senior citizen issues, youth services, grocery stores in our community, recreation centers, so we can start having those conversations and provide solutions to deliver to the mayor and to my other colleagues on the city council.